Welcome to More Than Miles, the podcast where we use storytelling and expert interviews to widen the lens on what it means to be a happy and healthy endurance athlete. We believe that athletes are so much more than their body, sport, and training miles. I'm Dr. Kate Edwards.
And I'm Dr. Kacy Sinders. We are endurance athletes, physical therapists, and huge coffee addicts. We spend most of our time treating, educating, and working with endurance athletes. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Now let's get to the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to More Than Miles. Kate and Kacy here on your microphones, in your earphones, wherever you might be. Today, I am going to be interviewing Kate about her new company, our new company, I guess you could say. No, definitely her new company, Fast Bananas.
You're definitely involved.
I'm involved. You're a founder, CEO, boss lady of it all. So some of you, depending on how closely you follow Precision and the clinic, and probably me on Instagram, me and Kate and I on Instagram, have seen banana costumes specifically. The reason for this podcast is to get you excited, because you should be really excited about all of these banana costumes you're seeing out in the world, but to explain the core idea behind Fast Bananas, which is we want runners to be healthy, and we want to change the paradigm and the culture that a lot of us runners follow. That is my impression of the mission of Fast Bananas, but this is really should have been my first interview question for you, Kate. So what is the mission of Fast Bananas?
Well, I don't need to say it now because you did, but that's great that's what you got. So the reason that I am building Fast Bananas, which you're definitely a part of, and so many incredible people are a part of, is because running culture is a culture where we definitely want to keep moving, keep going, keep pushing our bodies, performing better, stay injury free. But sometimes we don't know how to do that. And sometimes what we're taught is that you just have to push harder, or you just have to, roll it out, or maybe eat the right thing or sleep better. And it's really all about the physical piece of running and activity. And what we know from all of our experience treating patients, and from everything that we've kind of covered, from research to all the conversations we've had with athletes over the years, is that a running injury and running performance is so much more than the physical body. There are mental components, there are emotional components, and of course, physical components. And so Fast Bananas is a step in the right direction to change what we believe running culture should be. And so it's a couple different things, but mainly the first piece that's being launched on September 13th is an online resource center and subscription for runners, which is really, really exciting. It's been a lot to put together.
Yeah, so I think it's all valuable, but I think that this online resource center is just incredible. And just the list of people that we have who've contributed to that through these well-spoken, not only instructional, but just educational and informational videos about different aspects of runner health. I did a few, and Kate did a few about different various topics coming from a PT perspective. Side note, I had so much fun being on camera. I had no idea. I don't picture myself as anyone who could ever be like an actress or an interviewer. Well, I am sort of an interviewer, but had a lot of fun with it.
You were great. I mean, you were great when you were mic'd up in front. So we have over 20 contributors to Fast Bananas so far. And actually, I have several more that have agreed to be part of it, that we're going to be filming and creating more content over the next several months. So this is something, it's a subscription because the content is going to continue to grow. So when we first launch in September, there'll probably be about 40 different videos. And the videos are going to be, we're going to have yoga for runners. So we did these yoga classes. And I think we have 6 to start, but there's many more coming that are all specific to runners. And when I say that, it means that I worked with a yoga instructor and said, hey, these are the common things that runners deal with. And these are the things that they need help with. How can we use yoga to improve that for runners? So these classes are for runners specifically. We have 3 different strength coaches, which I'm really excited about. who have developed strength programs for runners. And they're different. Some of them you can do at home. Some of them you can do at the gym. And then these strength coaches also talked about why we do strength training. So it's not just the actual programs, but it's the educational component behind it, which I think, we're more likely to do things when we understand the why behind them. And we have 2 dietitians so far that have decided to work with us. One hasn't recorded or filmed anything yet, but one has. And things like, how do you feel pre-race? How do you feel post-run? What is under eating or under fueling? What does that look like? And how does it show up in our body? We have running medicine doctors. We have sports psychologists. So we have 2 sports psychologists so far and a mindset coach. So we're going to get tricks and drills and things like that we can do to help ourselves as runners for performance and for injury. My gosh, there's so many different people. It's really exciting. we have a sports cardiologist who talks about what do we do post-COVID or post-viral infection. And then also what are warning signs that runners need to look out for. So there are a whole bunch of different things. And I know that I didn't cover everything, but that's what's going to be part of that online resource center. Oh, running shoe store, running shoe experts. I just watched one of those videos. I was reviewing it yesterday. But the idea is that anything that you could want in terms of information is coming from the experts. And most of these people either work with elite athletes or high-level athletes. And so they're people that you may not have access to unless you are part of this Fast Bananas movement or Fast Bananas community, which is super cool.
Yeah. So, what it sounds like is you've taken all of your favorite people, go-to experts for all of these various aspects of health, and put them all in one place to share with everybody.
Yes, and it's so exciting.
Yeah. So let's talk about the second part. So there's a gift box also.
Oh, yes. Okay, so the online subscription launches in a couple of weeks. And like I said, it'll be growing. So the first day will look very different from 2 weeks after that. You know what I mean? So because things will be growing and changing and being added to that. There's also running coaches. You can ask a coach if you have questions. There's a whole piece once you've signed up that you can actually go to this forum and ask the coach questions about your running, and he will answer them for you, which is really, really cool. The second piece is a gift box. And this is actually how it started. I originally was only going to do the gift box, but then I wanted the resources that kind of went with the gift box to be available. And I realized that everything I wanted didn't exist. So we might as well build it. And turns out it's a huge learning curve. And I've never really done product before. And it's expensive to buy all this stuff. I had no idea how much stuff cost, but it's really exciting. So it's a gift box that you can buy, I say, for yourself, absolutely. Or if you want to buy it for someone else, that's fine too. But in the gift box, everything in it helps to downregulate your nervous system or help you drop into that right side of your brain or relax a little bit, because we know that the best healing occurs when we can not be in that heightened state of our nervous system. And so everything in the box takes that whole approach of mind, your emotional state, your mental state, your physical state. So we have a lacrosse ball, which we talk about all the time, actually. So if you have tight muscles or trigger points, you can use the lacrosse ball to help roll it out. And that's kind of that physical piece in the box. And you can take it with you on an airplane or wherever you want. It's a pretty easy thing to get rid of trigger points. So there's one of those in the box. There's obviously a cool trucker hat, because who wouldn't want a cool trucker hat? But it also keeps the sun out of your eyes, and it has the Fast Bananas logo. But then it has these beautiful recipes from a dietitian that works with elite athletes. And these specific recipes in this particular box are for performance. They're to help you use food as fuel to perform better. And then we have a coloring book, which I made. So
I love the coloring book so much. I have a copy. I may or may not have bought a fresh set of colored pencils to color it with.
That makes me so happy. I didn't know you loved it.
I do love it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I also, by the way, so in full disclosure, because hopefully people listening to this know us well enough, I had no idea how long it would take to make a coloring book. I mean, I've published a couple books, but this was a beast, man, because I had a very specific idea of what I wanted in the book and what the pictures.
Oh, really? You had a very specific idea.
I did. I know
So
that
out of character.
Fine. But I mean, as runners, what I wanted it to do was represent who we were as runners. And it's really important to me that I represented us well, and I represented us in many different ways, right? So it's cool because there's images of adaptive runners. We have somebody who's pushing a wheelchair. We have young and old and all different things in this coloring book. And it was really important for me to do that. And then it has the things that we use, right? So it has running watches and sunglasses and shoes and the equipment we use, and then the places that we go. I had this image in my head of this place running through the snow. And I was very specific about what I wanted that to look like, and then running on a beach. And because we all run in different places, and where we run is part of ourselves. They're part of who we are and our identity. So all of those different things went into that coloring book. On the opposite side of the image, I really took you through kind of a sensory experience of what it would feel like to be there in that picture. That's all based on things that I've learned, and we've kind of, read through research and that kind of thing about the brain and how to, drop it in and out of the parasympathetic nervous system. So that's in the box. That was a really long description. I'm sorry. And then also we have a journal that's done by a mindset coach. And that'll be the last product I'm waiting on, actually, before the box can launch a little bit after the online resource center. And it's a really beautiful journal. And it has, goals for runners. And it's meant for people who, are maybe having a hard time or in a slump during running, or are injured or coming back from something, or really trying to reach goals. It's a really beautiful journal built by this mindset coach. So I personally think it's a great gift for any runner. And it's not your typical, pair of sunglasses and, goo and socks kind of thing. Although all those things are awesome. And hopefully someday people will like this enough. I can convince Gooder to give me sunglasses for the box, because that would just top it off.
Awesome.
I hope you hear me. Gooder, are you listening?
Gooder.
But that's what's in the gift box. And I'm hoping that'll be out before the holidays. And I think it would make a great gift for, somebody who is doing their first marathon.
I would love to get one of those. I would love to have one of those under the tree.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah. And the candles are in there too. I forgot, but we'll save that for later. That'll be your surprise.
Okay. That'll be the surprise. Okay.
That'll be the surprise. What's been really fun about this Fast Bananas project is I didn't know how much people would love to run in banana suits.
It's great. I, as a very experienced and seasoned runner in costumes, it's much easier than the T-Rex costume. I'll tell you that. It's not as hot. I mean, definitely would be sweaty, in the summertime, but it's definitely doable year round.
Well, so we named the banana on the logo. We had a contest. So we have a Instagram. It's Fast Banana Runs. And I had a
Fast Bananas Run, or Fast Banana Run.
It is. I'm sorry. It's Fast Bananas Run. Did I say it wrong? Sorry.
I just was making sure that we had the right one.
Yeah. It was probably good to check me on that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we had a contest, Name the Banana, on the logo. And it was named Splits. So Splits is the banana. And
so good.
It is so good. And the person who won got a free banana costume, which is awesome. And now, realizing how much people love the costumes, I've been sending them all over. And we get all of these pictures on Instagram, banana sightings of people we have Texas and Wisconsin and New York and Atlanta. And it's been really fun.
Yeah, so where did the name Fast Bananas come from?
I don't really totally remember, but I was texting you about it on my vacation. This is how it goes. I was on vacation at the beach.
Yeah, you're in Destin, right?
Yeah, I was in Destin, and I was, I think we had just done a podcast, and I don't remember what we were talking about. And then I was preparing a lecture for a running course I'm teaching, and I just started thinking about all the things I wish runners knew, which is hence the reason this whole company was built. And then there might have been bananas on the counter, and then we were talking about bananas. Do you remember why it was called Fast Bananas?
I mean, I think it was definitely your brainchild, because I remember you texting me and saying, would Fast Bananas be too weird of a name? And I said, that's an amazing name. And that's how that happened.
Yeah. And then I asked you to send me banana jokes. And we started talking about bananas and silly things, and we're hysterical for several days. And I mean, I think it still continues. But that week I was supposed to be on vacation is when it was born.
Typical. So typical.
So yeah. So anyway, that's it. So
yeah, that idea was ripe.
So the Fast Banana jokes that you see on the website may or may not be from Kacy. We'll see. Although I'm still waiting for some,
Yeah, I'll keep working on them. There's so many times you can use appealing as a pun.
Yeah, or it's bananas. It's bananas not to take care of your whole health. I mean, that's
Stop monkeying around with your health.
That's right. Stop monkeying around with your health. Those are all very true.
Very true.
Very true. So the website is fastbananas.com and the Instagram is fastbananasrun. And if you go on and subscribe to the newsletter, the first 50 people, and I don't know where we are, I haven't looked because we're kind of doing a soft launch to start. But the first 50 people get a month free of the subscription. So if you sign up for that newsletter, you get a free month. That way you can test it out and see if you like it. And if you do, of course, tell all your friends, because the idea is that we help as many people as possible and get the right information to everyone out there. So there's meditations for runners. There's even, I have pelvic health therapists on there talking about all sorts of things, pelvic health, why, a man might have hip pain, might be related to pelvic health, or stress urinary incontinence after childbirth. There's all sorts of stuff on there. So I think it's going to be a really great place. And I hope that people will let me know if there are things that they want to know that isn't there or that aren't there yet, so that I can specifically fill those needs as we go. Because hopefully the first adapters will at least know our voices well enough to feel like they can give input.
So how would people give input if they had an appealing idea?
We have a email address and it's info@fastbananas.com. So that would be a great way. Or you could always message us on Instagram. I bet I'd see that first. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I would see that first. But either way, you could email me or you could direct message us.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything about Fast Bananas that we didn't cover?
I'm designing my own Fast Bananas running costumes.
What? This is news to me, people. I actually don't know about this.
Well, it can't be just a regular banana. So we have to have a banana that matches the logo, and he has to have a number. He doesn't have a number. The bananas we've been. So I'm developing my own costume to sell on the website, because I feel like if you're part of the movement, you should definitely have a banana costume and wear it as much as possible. I may even be developing a race where there is a contest for best banana costume coming soon.
Amazing.
It's pretty funny. So here we are.
The best type of fast food. I could go all day.
I was thinking we could do banana splits at the end of the race.
Like actually doing the splits.
Like actually having a banana split. Like
yeah. Totally about that. Yeah. Not about the whole hamstring stretchy thing, but yeah, totally about ice cream.
That would be a terrible idea for runners after a race. That'd be a lot of injuries.
No, I was like, wait, what?
I'm not trying to cause injuries. I'm trying to prevent injuries and improve performance in a fun and exciting way.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't call that banana splits. That's just doing the splits. My bad.
Yes, exactly. So we could have banana splits at the end of the race.
Splits. Yes.
I know this all sounds completely insane, but if you can't have a little fun with it, then we shouldn't be doing it, right?
That's right.
When things are fun, it's easier to do.
It's science.
Science. I don't know if that's really science, but we're gonna say it.
I'm gonna say it's science.
Well, thank you for asking me these questions today, Kacy, and thanks for all of you More Than Miles listeners for taking these few minutes to hear about Fast Bananas. And I hope that you follow us at Fast Bananas Run, and I hope that you go on fastbananas.com and sign up for our newsletter. And if you hear this after the 13th, maybe sign up for the online resource center. I think it's going to be awesome. And It can be anything we want it to be, which is the coolest part about this, is we can build it out. We can make it better all the time. And that's what I hope to do.
We're really excited. Looking forward to the 13th, and see you on the newsletter.
Woo woo. Woo woo. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that it resonated with you and that you learned something. If you enjoyed this podcast, please rate and leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps increase our visibility within the platform so that more awesome people like you can find us.
If you'd like to support us further, pretty please, you can visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/morethanmiles. That's www.patreon.com/morethanmiles. Or for a few dollars, you can help the show grow and keep going, as well as receive exclusive perks like monthly Q&As with us. Until next time, remember to run the mile you're in, and that training is so much more than miles.